Welcome to Volume 5 of the Royal Road to Card Magic. Again, I hope you've learned every single volume up till now. You've gone step by step, that you're not jumping ahead. Because here you're going to learn some really powerful ideas, including some material you can perform with a setup deck. By now, of course, you should be able to shuffle a deck of cards and retain its entire order. So you're going to learn a whole lot of great material here. You're going to learn how to force a card using the classic force. And if you master this particular move, I guarantee it, you'll be a miracle worker with any deck of cards very, very easily. There's a lot of work ahead of you, but it's worth it. And at the end of this volume, I'll show you where you can go from here. But remember, read the book, watch the DVD, practice as much as you can, because practice absolutely does take you towards perfection. Perfection is a road, not a destination. So let's continue down that road. Volume 5, The Royal Road to Card Magic. To use the Hindu shuffle as a control, it's actually very simple. Begin as for the shuffle, shuffle a few cards and have a card returned to the top of the left hand packet, like so. When you continue shuffling, instead of shuffling directly onto this card, the right thumb and second finger are going to squeeze and pick up the card from the top of the left packet. Now this is done as the left hand draws off the next packet, like so. And you continue shuffling until you reach the selected card. Again, the card is here. I come over, I pick up the card. You can pick up several cards if you like. It doesn't matter. You can pick up a packet like this. So long as the top card beneath the break, which must be maintained, is their card. I keep shuffling. As soon as I reach the break, I drop on top, and the card is here. Using the Hindu shuffle as a force is very similar to the control for several cards. Begin with the card you want to force on top of the deck, and begin a shuffle, asking someone to say stop. Now, the first packet is taken fairly. As the second packet is taken, I pick up the top group of cards, like so, and continue shuffling. As soon as someone says stop, I bring this packet over and release the cards underneath the break and have them take the card. This forces the desired card like so. Another way is to have the card on the bottom of the deck. Now this force is much easier and is still very deceptive. Shuffle, there's no control. As soon as they say stop, simply show them the bottom card and lose it in the middle of the deck. I already know what it is, so it's easy to control. This next technique allows you to get a key card directly above a spectator's selected card. The cards can be shuffled, any card selected, but when I have it returned, I use the Hindu shuffle. As soon as they say stop, I tap the end of the deck like this, and I'm looking straight at the bottom card of the deck. This goes on top of their selected card, and I know where their card is, right underneath the 4 of spades. The next simple control allows you to get a break above a chosen card. Have the card returned, drop these cards on top, and square the deck. And I've obtained a break right above the selected card. To do this, once the card is returned, I drop these on top, but a little forward, like this. So there's a step this way. When I square the deck, I press down with my thumb right here, which pushes that packet downwards, creating a break. The pinky keeps the break as the deck is squared. This next control is vastly superior to the step. Any card is taken and returned. Once it's returned, I throw the deck on top and square, and I've maintained a break above their card. What makes this work is when I drop this packet onto this packet, I make sure it hits here, step towards me. But I tilt the packet downwards so that it will continue to meet this finger, like so. Friction causes the cards at the bottom of the upper packet to stay stepped, so it's very easy for me to lift those up, create a break, and square the packet, like so. So again, card is returned, I drop these on top, lift it up, and I have a break. If you try this a few times, you'll see how easy it is. If I drop, as long as it hits here and then moves forward, these cards will stay stepped, and it looks very casual, like so. Okay. Genevieve,
Yes, sir.
take a card.
Okay.
Good?
Yes.
Terry, take a card. Oh, top one. Trying to catch me out there. Put the card back about here. Okay, that's good. Take your card and put it back there.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Now, you've got a card and you have a card.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the cards into two piles, these and these. Give me a number between 1 and 10.
9.
9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What was the name of the card you chose?
7 of spades.
9. 7 of spades. Very good. Very simple. But let's try it a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
I'm going to take these and shuffle them a little bit. You remember your card?
Yes.
Give me a number between 1 and 10.
7.
7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You look really suspicious. Did I miscount? Let's just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I haven't done anything.
Okay.
What was the name of your card?
The 6 of hearts.
The 6 of hearts. Like that. Well, that's the first part. I don't usually do this. Would you like to know how this works?
Yeah.
Okay. See, the whole thing is basically based on an illusion. For instance, the card you chose was the
7 of spades.
7 of spades. See, I can actually show you that the entire deck, or this half of the deck, looks like the 7 of spades. You see? It's just a
Looks
little
like-
illusion. Well, it looks kind of like it. Let's see. Your card, let's try it with your card. Your card was the 6 of hearts, and it's exactly the same thing. All of the cards look pretty much exactly like the 6 of hearts. Like that. Pretty impressive, huh? Why don't you pick a card from here? I'll shuffle the cards like this. Just say stop anywhere that you like as I shuffle the cards.
Stop,
Here.
I guess, yes.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to shuffle these a little like this. You're going to do exactly the same thing. Just say stop anywhere that you like.
Stop.
Like that. I said it's an illusion, but the illusion doesn't last very long because if I spread these cards, all the cards are different. If I spread these cards, all the cards are different. Now, do you see your card in here anywhere? Do you see your card in here?
I don't think so.
And you chose one card from each packet. Your card was the...
6 of hearts.
7 of spades.
Amazingly, you picked each other's cards from your own
Yay.
packets. Yay. All change here is a very commercial effect that is very strong with lay audiences. Begin by having 2 cards selected from a shuffled deck. We're going to use the 2 black aces, like so. Begin by having the first card returned to the deck. Using the Hindu shuffle control, this card is placed about a third from the bottom. I continue shuffling, but I pick up that card, drop it off, and have the second card replaced, apparently in a different position, but it's actually right on top of the first card. Again, I continue to shuffle. I pick up both those cards and control them to the top, like so. So this is the first card, the ace of clubs. The second card is the ace of spades. We're going to cut the cards, giving the lower half
to the second spectator. As I do that, I'm going to do the back slip. I lift up, back slip, and tap, like so. So in natural time, these go here, and these go here. The back slip means that the second card is now on top of the packet in front of the second spectator, and the first card is on top of the packet in front of the first spectator. Now we're ready. Begin by taking these and asking the first spectator to name a number between 1 and 10. I always do this. You'll notice I do this when I perform to try and keep the number high. This is a psychological thing which really does work. So say, give me a number between 1 and 10. And I just lift my hand up a little bit. When they give me a number, whatever the number is, I'm going to count that number like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's imagine the number was 7. Notice how I take each card under the last, like so. I don't reverse the order. As soon as I've taken that, I look directly at them and I flip these face up on top as I say, what was your card? Like so. Now that is actually the 7th card there. But this is a subtle thing. If you continue going down, you say it was the ace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, of course, that was originally the top card of the deck, but don't worry about this. This will fly if you do it naturally. Give me a number between 1 and 10. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What was your card? The ace of clubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there it is. The ace of clubs. Take that card onto the bottom of the packet and then put everything on the bottom like this. Flip it over and drop that packet in front of spectator number 1. We now do essentially the same thing for spectator number 2, but we change the handling. That will fly once, but it won't fly twice. So we change the handling to keep ahead of the audience. Remember, the second card is on top of the deck. Begin by shuffling, running one card, in jog, and shuffle off. Now undercut and throw on top. So now the ace is second from the top. Again, we ask for a number between 1 and 10. They give us a number, let's again say it was 7. We begin by turning over the top card. As we do that, we get a break underneath the second card by pushing a little too far. We get a break underneath the second card. Flip the top card over. We now have a break underneath 2 cards. So 7 is named. We flip that over, and we pick up both the cards above the break. That will be 1. 2. The second card is flipped over and placed on top like this. 3. The same with the third card, placed on top. 4. 5. 6. 7. Notice how the first finger of the right hand keeps all of these cards under control. So you say, and that was the number 7, but you look suspicious, and I drop these back on top. What that does is place their card directly beneath the packet. Now I can count down 7 cards and show their card at that position. This is dropped here. Everything flipped over, so the ace ends on the bottom. Now, return to the first spectator and say, would you like to know how this is done? I don't usually do this. Here we're going to use a Hindu shuffle display. Pick up the packet and say, the secret is that all of these cards look like the ace of clubs. Now I'm doing a fair Hindu shuffle, but every time I turn this hand over, they're seeing the bottom card. But the display looks very, very strong. I shuffle and I show the same card. I shuffle and show the same card, like so. And I shuffle until I'm left with only one card, which is dropped on top like this. Now as they react to that display, I'm going to palm the top card of this packet. So they react as I do that. I palm off that ace, drop the packet here, and add that ace to the top of this packet as I pick up. Now, in order to control this card, I have to take it off singly. So I begin by showing the second card. These cards also all look like the ace of spades. Now I pull off one card only. That's the first spectator's card. And I keep showing this as I continue to shuffle throughout the packet until only one card is left, like so. Again, I palm that card as I table the packet. I carry the palmed card over to here. I add it to the top as I pick up the packet like this. This is a very easy addition. The card is already on palm. I just come straight down on top and pick up. As soon as I'm on top, I obviously let go. You don't want to do this and keep it stuck to your palm. Here, we're going to do the lift, shuffle, force. Shuffle off a packet, come to here, and continue shuffling until they say stop. When they say stop, that bottom packet is dropped here, and I put the card here. See, obviously, if these are all the ace of clubs, it's easy to make you pick that ace. The same is true here. And again, I shuffle and drop that on top. This was the original bottom card. So when I shuffle, I keep shuffling until the bottom card is now on top. Here, I begin to lift, shuffle, force again. They say stop, and I place it down. So the interesting thing is that the whole thing is really an illusion. When I showed you they were all the same, in actual fact, they were all completely different, both here and here. Now you ask them to look to see if they can actually find their card in these packets. Of course they can. The surprising climax is that they've actually selected their own cards, but from each other's packets, like so. Some selections are fairer than others. In the next chapter, you're going to learn how to force a card onto your audience. In other words, you're going to make them select a card that you already know. This chapter is called The Classic Force. There are many ways to force a card. In fact, there are hundreds. The forces taught in the Royal Road are very effective and includes probably the most convincing force of all, the classic force, which is where we're going to begin. Many things in card magic rely not only on practice but experience, and the classic force is an excellent example of this. Professionals the world over avoid the classic force because they feel it's unreliable. But some, and I'm thinking of professionals like Paul Green and Paul Daniels in particular, who have used the classic force not only in their professional shows, but on live television with complete reliability because they know how to use it with people. And this is really about people, because you have to judge someone a little bit before you make the force. You'll see what I mean. The force relies on timing. Let's say we have a deck of cards, and we shuffle the cards, and we happen to note the top card, which in this case is our blue-backed ace of spades. I'm going to have the card selected by Jeff. When I do this, I begin by shuffling it into the middle. I put a break above that, a jog. So when I square the deck, I can lift up on the break with my thumb and get a break above the card, like this. Now with that break, I'm going to spread the cards. As I spread the cards, I'm going to ask Jeff to reach forward and take a card. I'm going to time the spread so that as I push cards over, when he comes to the deck, I'm pushing over the force card at that very instant. That will encourage him to take that card. This is how it will work. Jeff, just take a card. At exactly the right second, that card is underneath his fingers. Now it's more than just timing. It's also to do with body language. Note what happens. If I shuffle, maintain control of that card, and ask you to take a card. If we do this in slow motion, watch. His hand comes up. I'm spreading to the point. As soon as we get there, I actually lay the card into his hands, like this. He removes it, and it's complete. It feels natural to him, and of course to anybody else watching, they see him just reach forward and take a card. It's one of the most convincing forces you can possibly learn. Unfortunately, it's going to go wrong. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to go wrong. You're not going to get the timing right on your own. There's no way you can sit in a room and perfect timing when it involves yourself and a spectator. So, there are many ways of practicing this. The most important way, of course, is to force every single card anytime you perform a card trick. So any card trick you already know and already use, whenever you have the card selected, get a break above any card, doesn't matter what it is, and simply force that card to see if he takes it. He did. That's good. And keep doing that until you're confident with the force. Once you're confident, you can actually use that force in practice. What happens if he misses the force card? Well, depending on the trick, there are several ways you can go. If you needed to force that card for a trick, if you had it predicted somewhere, for instance, then you have to do a different trick. Simply do any trick that doesn't require the card to be forced. If he doesn't take the card, but you can still use any card that he takes, use your force card as a key card. Let's give you an example of that. Let's shuffle that into the middle, jog the cards, shuffle off, get a break, ask him to choose a card, but this time, Jeff, don't take the force card. Reach for a card just below it. So as I come over, he goes below that card. And he takes the card and looks at it. I'm going to ask him to replace it in exactly the same place. Put it back. Now I happen to know that his card is the second card below my force card. Not the first, but the second. So now I can use the undercut shuffle to retain that block. And I know that 2 cards below my previous force card, which is now my key, is his selection. That's one way. What would happen if he takes a card too far away from the force card? If he were to choose one near the top, I still have my break above the blue-backed card here. If, however, he chooses one below, I must maintain a break. So as I spread through, Jeff's going to refuse to take the force, take a card further down. But when he returns it, he places it right underneath that card. Now to do that, we hold the break in a special way. We begin with the break above our force card. Now, as I'm spreading the cards from underneath, you can see, watch this finger, the first finger of the right hand. As I spread, I come to the card and he doesn't take it. So the first finger now contacts the very edge of that card, the right edge as I'm looking at it. And the cards are continued to be spread. As a card is selected, and I have it returned, did you take that card, Jeff? I now lift up at that finger because it's only contacting the face of my force card, which is now my key, as Jeff returns the card, like so. And that is the classic force. The one-hand force is a variation of the classic force, and in some ways is more convincing. It's a little more chancy though. Again, I know magicians who do this behind their back. That's how secure they are with it. It just takes a little bit of experience. Again, shuffle the cards and glimpse the card you wish to force. In this case, we'll make it our blue-backed ace of spades. Shuffle it to a location in the middle. Hold a break above it. In this case, I pull up with the thumb again. Hold the break, and I'm ready to go. I'm going to fan the cards. Before I fan the cards, I'm going to step to the side like this. This will expose more of that card. Now some people do it wide. This is pretty wide, and some people do it a little bit more narrow. It's up to you. It's also up to the condition of the cards. I'm going to make it quite wide for you to see. Now I'm going to fan the cards, and you can see that card is exposed more. I'm going to have someone take a card, and as they come up, I'm going to place that card right under their finger as they take the card. Like that. So in other words, I'm aiming for their finger as they reach over to take a card from the fan. And I'll close up, and he can put the card anywhere he likes. So one more time. The card is in the middle, with the finger break above it. I step these to the right slightly, not like this, but in a fanned way like this, at an angle. Now I fan. That card is more exposed. I know where it is. And I simply place it right underneath his finger. Like so. And that's the one-handed force. Jeff, I'm going to have you choose a card. I'll shuffle the cards first of all. And I'm going to spread the cards in an unusual way, like this. Just pull out any block that you like. Very good. That's your card. And of course, this just happens to be our force card, the blue-backed ace of spades. It's very simple to do. Have your card on the bottom, control it as you shuffle. And when you're ready, hold the deck low in the hand. In other words, not normally like this. Bring it down a little bit, like that. And you need to riffle off with your thumb one card at the bottom, which of course is the the ace. In actual fact, you can leave a couple of cards, but one card is fine. So you leave the one card and bring the deck forward like that. Now they won't see this from the front. Okay? So, as soon as I leave that card behind, I now pull back on the rest of the deck, creating a little spread like that, until the top of the deck is pretty much square with that card there. Now from the front, they see a nice spread of cards. And they're invited to reach over and just take any number of cards from the bottom. And it's a very easy way for them to remove cards. At this point, the card is like this in my hand. To show the force card, simply come from above, square everything. Show it to the spectator, and the force is over. Now they can shuffle as much as they like. The two-card force is an excellent way of forcing not only two cards, but any position in the deck that you'd care to cut to. To do this, I'll demonstrate with an ace of diamonds on the bottom and the ace of hearts on top. And we're going to use the joker as a cut card. Yeah. Insert the card anywhere you like into the middle of the deck. Okay. Now that's a perfectly free choice. Okay. And you notice you've put it right beside the ace of diamonds and the ace of hearts. So, to explain, I'm going to turn these cards face up, like so. So you can see the two aces are reversed on the deck. So you take the joker. Before he makes his selection, I'm going to cut about a third of the deck to the bottom and hold a break above that card. So I now have a break right there. Now Jeff is going to be encouraged to insert his card anywhere he likes. Now I can have him push it in like this, as long as he doesn't push it in all the way, or he can push it into the square end of the deck. So push it in somewhere around about the middle. Now, make sure he doesn't push it in all the way. Also ensure that he pushes the joker in face up. That's important. Now you can see what actually it is. It's quite a distance above the two aces, but I have a break between these. I'm going to apparently remove the cards above the joker, but what I really do is put my right first finger into the break, like this. And I'm going to remove that entire upper packet by drawing it towards myself. As I do that, my thumb of the left hand and my first finger on the left hand will squeeze that card and stop it from continuing any further. So the joker is now being gripped by these two fingers. So as I come forward, I grip the joker. It stays in place as I continue to remove that upper packet. I can then show him this card on the bottom, which is an ace, like so. And I can show him this card, which is also an ace, forcing that position perfectly. And that's the two-card force. The riffle break force is commonly called the riffle force in Magic today. It's a very common force because it's effective and very convincing. We'll use our blue-backed ace of spades. Again, we shuffle that into the middle, holding a break above it. We pull up and maintain that break. So the break is there at all times. Now in order to have a card selected, I'm going to riffle with this thumb down the outer left corner of the deck, like this. Okay? This is a little more difficult to do with a break, but not at all hard. Now as I riffle down, I invite someone to say stop. It's preferable for them to say stop above the card. Remember, I have a break above that card at all times. What's going to happen is, they say stop. Jeff?
Stop.
Stop there. I hold the break. I keep that open like this. I come over to apparently lift up that upper packet. These fingers on the right hand will, however, guard the front of the deck, covering it completely, like this, as my thumb picks up the entire packet above the little finger break. Here. So as I come over, I pick up everything and release that break with the thumb, completely. I release and pick up. So the illusion is that they've asked me to say stop, and I've cut at that point. But in actual fact, I cut at the point held at the back of the deck, like this. So at full time, Jeff, say stop.
Stop.
Stop. Take the card. And that's the riffle break force. The sliding key force is a very devious way of forcing a card. It's based on the sliding key that you learn in the key card section. To do this, have the card you want to force on the bottom of the deck. We'll use our blue-backed ace of spades. And we're going to spread the cards exactly as for the sliding key. I spread a few cards over into this hand, and as I do that, the middle finger, the second finger of the right hand, will go between the middle two fingers of the left hand, like this, to contact the face card. So as I spread these cards over, I contact that card like this. Now I'm going to draw that card over underneath the cards I just spread, like that, as I continue to spread with the right hand. Now this card is here, and all of the cards I spread go above it. None of the cards go below it, or it'll end up merging with the spread. So I continue to spread like this. Now as I do that, I'm going to invite Jeff to point to any card. He can touch any card he likes, just as long as he doesn't actually remove it. So, as I spread through like that, I prepare, continue spreading, point to a card, Jeff. Now he's pointed to a card. Now I know it's this card here, so I'm going to put my thumb on the next card along to the left, here, so that I can break the spread there. I'm going to remove all of those cards, like this, like that. Now you notice that the other edge of that card, not this one, but this one under here, is just above the force card. That's important. If I remove these cards without that being there, these cards will fall. In order to merge that card with this one, I'm going to square the right hand packet. And I do that against the top of the left hand packet, like so. And now I can show that card cleanly, return it to the middle, and shuffle. So one more time, place that to the bottom. This time in real time, we spread over, we point to a card, this card here, look at the card, and shuffle.
Very good.
In the Classic Force chapter, you'll find a force called the double lift force. Now this is actually a very good force. Unfortunately, in the book, it's not published correctly. You have to make an adjustment to the handling to make this work. In the book, it tells you to take your force card, blue-backed ace of spades, control it to the top, and then get a break underneath two cards and continue. If you do this, the force will not work. The correct instructions are to have your force card on top, and during a shuffle, run one extra card onto that one. In jog, shuffle off, and undercut at the break. This places the force card second from the top. This is important. Second from the top. Now, as you ask someone to think of a number between 5 and 15, you do that just now, Jeff?
9, please.
Now, and while I'm asking him that, I get a break underneath those two cards, using the technique taught in the double lift. So I have a break underneath the top two cards. So you said the number?
9.
Very good. I'm now going to take off the cards one at a time, counting down to the 9th card. So that's 1. And what I've done is taken two cards. I grab them here at this corner. So I put this finger into the break. Notice how I put my finger up here like this, against that bottom edge. That helps to keep the cards square. Note, if you use old cards, you'll find that because they've started to age, the cards buckle in different ways. This has to be done with a reasonably fresh deck, otherwise the front edge will separate. Okay? So using relatively new cards, I could take 1 and then 2 right on top of that one. So, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, counting to 1 less than the number he gave. And I make this very, very fair, 8. I won't even touch, in fact, I don't want to touch any of the cards. I'm going to give them to you. And when I say that, I've just replaced the packet on top. Now remember, we took 2 cards at the beginning, and the second card down was the force card, the ace of spades. What that means is, because I took 2 instead of 1, I actually was holding 9 cards in this hand. So when I said, I don't even want to touch the card and drop them back on top, you count down to your card. Now when he counts down to the force card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's the ace of spades. So one more time. It begins on the top. Control it. Second from the top. As I ask him to get a number, I pull up, get a break beneath those two. As I count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very fair. I haven't even touched that card. In fact, I don't want to touch any of the cards, and I drop everything on top and give it to him. And that sets my force card to the number that he asked for, and is a very fair and very convincing force. Many techniques in card magic are often overlooked because of their simplicity. When you know how it works, it'll never fool you again. That's very true of the next move. However, I use this move all the time because I know it's reliable when performing for lay audiences. Cut the deck anywhere you like, Jeff. Okay? I'm going to mark where you cut. Now, Jeff, this trick is a particularly interesting trick where something's about to happen and then I'm going to get the credit. So take the card that you cut to and look at it. Now, the Eight of Hearts is, in fact, the force card. And the force is very simple because it depends on a delay. Now, the delay is very short, but without the delay, it won't work. Let's use our blue-backed Ace of Spades. Jeff, again, cut the cards anywhere that you like. And I'm going to mark the place where you cut, like that. Now, I talk to you for a moment, and when you look back to the deck and I tell you to take the card you cut to, you're naturally drawn to that card there, not the top card. And I usually indicate it as well. So when he removes the card like this, it seems like it couldn't be fairer. One more time. Now, please don't dismiss this. It's a very powerful force, and I use it in a lot of magic. Cut the cards anywhere you like. Okay? I'm going to mark the place where you cut. That's an important line, like this. I talk to you for just a moment, and when we're ready, take the card that you cut to, that's it, and turn it over. The following tip on the cross-cut force was given to me by Michael Skinner. Now, if you haven't heard Michael Skinner's name before, the more you become interested in close-up card magic or close-up magic in general, the more you will hear his name. He was legendary for having not only a huge repertoire, very unusual for a professional close-up magician, but also for applying clever subtleties to the sleights we use. This is one of them. Now, in the normal cut force, as you saw, we cut the packet like this. Instead, we're going to make a very small adjustment. Jeff, cut the cards, please. Like that. I'm going to mark the place where you cut, like this. Instead of placing it in a cross, I've simply placed it in an angle, as if we've opened up a space in the middle of the deck. Now, of course, what we've done is actually cut, bringing the top back into the middle. But when I ask him to take a card, I don't even have to point to that card. Almost 100% of the time, the spectator will reach forward and take that card. Now, here's a small point on this. Michael, when he showed it to me, was sitting right there. I only met him a couple of times. And when he showed it to me, he cut the deck like this. Now, I could see how inviting that card was. However, to the people sitting across from me, from your view in the front, that is less inviting. From my point of view, it looks fine. So instead, I cut it like this, the exact opposite. Like that. So they get the picture that Michael showed me. And it draws them naturally to that middle card. And that is an excellent cross-cut force. Okay, like that. So now I have a blindfold that works, hopefully, and a deck of cards. So let's see, I'm going to shuffle these like so. I need you to choose a card. Choose any card that you like. Somewhere around about the center would be good.
Okay.
Okay, look at it. Don't let me see it. Okay. Put it anywhere you like into the deck. And shuffle. Okay. Take off my glasses. And I'm going to cover my eyes with this. Okay, so I'm trusting you people to still be here when I take this off. Okay.
Would not be a trick.
That would indeed be a trick. Okay. So now I'm completely blindfolded. Now, where's the deck? You still got the cards there?
Yeah.
Yeah? Put them around about here and cut them into 2 piles.
Oh, them temptation.
You done that?
Yes.
2 piles? And, okay. Now, this is the idea. I'm going to deal through like this. Did you see your card there?
No.
No? The other packet? Okay. Did you see your card there?
Yes.
Okay, good. Put these over here. Take these cards, okay, and hand me the cards one at a time from the top. Okay. Wait. No, one more. Wait. Take the next card. Give it to me. What was the card that you chose?
4 of diamonds.
Is that it?
Should I say yes?
I hope so.
Yes, it is.
Is that the card?
Yes, it
I'm
is.
taking your word for it. There you go. That's it. So Jeff has shuffled the deck. His card is apparently lost in the deck, and I apparently don't know what it is. In actual fact, I know that it's the Ace of Spades because I forced it on him. Of course, I don't know where it is. Also, I'm blindfolded, and I have my eyes closed to simulate being blindfolded properly. I asked Jeff to cut the deck into 2 piles. Okay? And he can hand me any one of the piles that he likes. Any one I told you. Okay. Now, I'm going to begin dealing these cards face up into a pile. As I do that, I'm now going to open my eyes and peer down the blindfold and ensure that I deal into a position that I can see. I'm looking for the force card, and as I deal, I'm counting silently. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's the card. I remember 10. And keep dealing. Now I could close my eyes again, like this. So my eyes are closed. And I say, was your card there, Jeff?
Yes, it was.
So keeping my eyes closed, I give the cards to Jeff. I say, hold on to those.
Good.
Move the other cards away. We don't need those.
Okay.
And I want you to deal cards one at a time into my hand.
Face up.
No, anything you like. It doesn't really matter. I can't see, but face down is good. No. This one. I get a very strong feeling about this card. What was the name of the card you chose?
It's the Ace of Spades.
And there it is, the Ace of Spades. The method? I count. Remember, I knew that his card was 10 cards down. I keep my eyes closed at all times because, again, I want to simulate blindness. So, as he deals, I act as if I'm getting an impulse somewhere down the line, but I'm just counting. I let him deal some more. As soon as I get to the card just before his card, deal 9 cards into my hand. I stop there, and I say, the next card, hold it in your hand, don't look at it. I get a very strong feeling from that. Have you looked at it yet?
No, I have not.
And there's obviously, I can't see it because I'm blindfolded. What was the name of your card? Have him name it first, and then reveal it to show the Ace of Spades. Very simple, very powerful effect. The Justice card trick. All right. Hey, I'm going to have you choose a card.
Okay.
And let's see. You can choose pretty much any card you like, but say stop anyway you like first.
Stop.
Stop here?
Yes.
Okay, now you can choose any card you like, but you don't actually get to look at the card.
All right.
Okay, see how that works? So the card goes here. Now I'm going to say some things about your card.
All right.
Okay, so let me see if I can... that's fine where it is, I think. I get a feeling that this top card is very important. It's the 8 of diamonds. It tells me for sure that your card is an even valued card.
Okay.
Pretty good. And if I look at the bottom card here, that's a 10 of diamonds, so that tells me for sure that your card is a diamond. So 2 diamonds have proved that correct.
Okay.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty nice. Very nice.
And let's cut right there. And this card tells me for sure that I don't think your card's a king.
Did that go as planned?
I'll tell you what, let's just do this with the 4 fours. Make it really easy on ourselves. Okay, see? Okay. Fours of a kind is a variation on several effects and is an excellent little trick. It requires just a little bit of acting. Take out the 4 fours. You can actually use any 4 of a kind that you like. And you're going to set these as follows. 3 of them will go on top of the deck, but you need to put 1 underneath the top card first, followed by the next 2. By doing that, you have 2 fours, any card, and another 4, as you can see. The next 4 will go second from the bottom, like this. So I have 4, 4, an odd card, another 4, the rest of the deck, followed by a 4 and an odd card. And we're ready to begin. We're going to take a slight deviation from the method taught in the Royal Road. I'm going to show you a slightly different technique to the backslip. It's like the backslip, but it's slightly better. We're also going to force the card using the riffle force. I personally would avoid the backslip force at all times, but that's just for me. So watch. I'm going to force the top card of the deck. Now before I do that, I have to centralize the card. To do that, we're going to do what's called a slip cut. Now if you watch carefully, this is not in the book. To do the slip cut, I'm going to lift up about half of the deck like this. But I'm going to lift it up against my left thumb, which will be on top of the deck. So I lift up like that so my thumb applies more pressure to the top card. I'm going to remove that packet to the left and up, or sorry, to the right and up. Very important. Right and up like that. So as I do that, it appears as if I'm cutting out the lower portion of the deck, which I'm then going to slap on top. To slap it on top, I'm going to use a technique you learned called the natural jog, which is in the Hindu shuffle section. So watch. I lift up here. I don't have to hold a break, but I lift up around about half of the deck. I come to the side, and I drop these on top, creating a natural jog by dropping it from behind. So it slides onto that packet. That creates the natural jog here. I lift up on that and I have a break above his card. One more time at speed. So to begin, I simply cut the deck, get a break, and I'm ready. Now we use a riffle force. Okay? So I riffle down the edge, like this, say stop.
Stop.
I come down and I lift up all the cards above my break to force that card. Take that card. Now don't look at it, just lay it on the table. It's important for this trick that they don't look at that card because I don't want them to know that there's been a mistake until the end. So the 4 goes here. I say now I'm going to try and find some other cards. And I can shuffle any way I like so long as I retain the top and bottom stock. To begin with, I have a card on top of the deck. Now that card is a 9 of clubs. Now I've just performed a double lift. I get ready for the double lift as I address Jeff, get a break below the top 2 cards. I make the double lift as I look at Jeff, and then I indicate the card. I say, this tells me that your card was an odd valued card, which of course is not correct, but that's fine. We want to be as incorrect as possible for this trick. Now we do the double lift again to turn the 2 cards back down, which brings the 4 back to the top, and I deal the 4 behind his selected card. Now, I turn over the bottom of the deck, and I say, this card tells me that your card is a spade. Now, it may be a spade, it may not be a spade. That doesn't matter, but I say it's a spade. And I now turn the cards back down and perform the glide, like so. And remove the 4 above the bottom card. Now, the last card is second from the top. And here, again, taking a deviation from the method given in Royal Road, we're going to perform another slip cut. So again, I slip cut, I lift up, my thumb maintains that top card, and I apparently cut the deck there with a slap. The slapping action is important. One more time. So I say we'll cut here, and I'll take this card, which tells me that your card is... that doesn't work at all. Now I pretend like there's been a mistake. I lay the card down. Now I've shown 2 cards. I don't actually show that card. I just say there seems to have been some sort of mistake. Yes, your card was a 4. And it wasn't a spade. Well, snap your fingers and reveal the other 3 4s. And that's called 4s of a kind. Genevieve, take a card. Okay, make sure
Okay.
you're happy. Look at it. Don't let me see it.
Okay.
Put it over here.
Place it
Okay.
face down.
Yep. Put your finger on top of that. No, the other finger. I'm going to use this hand. Good. All right. Now keep your finger on top of there. I need to take your pulse, which is there. Okay. I'm going to start saying the names of the cards, starting at ace through to king. Okay. So as I do that, I want you just to say nothing. Try not to react at all. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. 9, 10, Jack, 10. Your cards are 10. Is that right?
Yeah.
I felt it jump right there. I actually felt a little jump. Let's do it again. Let's just go through the suits. Hearts, clubs, spades, diamonds. Yeah. Clubs, clubs. Cards a club?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the 10 of clubs? Turn it over. Now, why don't we do this again? I'm going to take a card as well. In fact, you take a card for me. Don't let Genevieve see it. Okay, I'll take this one here. You want that one? Let's go. Okay. I'm going to look at that one there. Okay, now you take my pulse.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Just look at the card again. Okay. Remember it? Okay. Now you do the same thing. I want you to go through and just say the values, starting with ace, go all the way through.
Ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, Queen, King.
Okay. Did you get a feeling? Did anything stand out at you there?
A little bit.
Which one was it?
7, I think.
7. Okay. Say the suits. Say the suits.
Okay.
There's 4 of them, obviously.
Diamonds, hearts, clubs, and spades.
Okay. Do you want to try again? Say them again.
Okay, diamonds, clubs, hearts, and spades.
What do you think?
Diamonds.
Now, we didn't set this up. Not at all. Okay.
All right.
7 of diamonds. I'll tell you what. Let's try again. In fact, I'll do it with you. Take any card that you like. Any card at all. Okay. Look at it. Okay. Make sure you know what it is. Okay. Show it to everyone else. That's good. And just drop it on top. Like that. Okay. I'm going to shuffle up as well. Now, it's important that you see your card. Do you see it in there?
Yep.
Okay. Give me your hand. Point your finger like this. Okay? You ready? Okay. And again. One more time. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say... that one. Was that your card?
Yes, it was.
And that's it. Science at work. There's so much great material in the Royal Road to Card Magic, it would become redundant for me to continue saying this is my favorite trick and this is not. This particular effect is one that I use a lot, and you'll find out why if you ever try it for yourself. It's incredibly simple, but it's effective. It's the presentation that makes this work, not the method. force a card on somebody. Let's use the blue-back ace of spades. And I'll tell you what, why don't we use the classic force again? So I'll control it to the top. And I'll have you choose a card from the middle of the deck. You can choose any one that you like. Just take a card out there. That's good. I give him the card. Don't let me see it, but I want you to place it over here. And place your finger on the back of it. Good. And bring your other hand up to here for me. Now keep it just a little distance from there. Personally, I prefer to do this with a lady in the audience because it seems to strike a chord with ladies more than it does with men. But I'm going to take your pulse, okay, like this. I want to make sure I get it. Okay, I've got it. Now, as soon as I can feel the pulse, make sure you can feel the pulse because it's important. Okay. I've got it. I've got your pulse. I'm going to ask you some questions. You know what your card is. Now, you're the person who saw it. There's no way I saw your card. I'm going to ask you some questions, but strange questions, because I'm going to read through the values of the deck, starting at ace going to king. I'm just going to take a test on your pulse, okay? Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. Let me just start again at the middle. Ace, 2, 3, yeah, it's an ace. I felt your pulse jump at the very second that I said ace. Did you feel that? No, but I could feel it right there. I didn't feel anything at all. I forced the card. I know exactly what card he's holding. I just have to act as much as I can. So we know that, let's try the suit. Hearts, clubs, spades, spades. Yeah, it's a spade. Is it the ace of spades?
It is.
And they'll turn the card over. Don't dismiss this trick. It's as simple as it gets. It's just another way to reveal a card. But it's one that people seem to enjoy. Now in the Royal Road to Card Magic, there's a continuation of this. This is where you look at a card and someone in the audience reads your pulse. And it's very simple. In this case, I take a card. I can take any card I like. I'll peek at it. I'll let you see it. Okay? There it is. Now, Jeff, you don't know what that card is right now. I want you to take my pulse. Okay? All right? You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, as you take my pulse, I want you to read through the values and see if you...
All right.
Okay.
Start with ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. Yeah, I did feel something earlier on.
Which value?
4.
On 4? 4. Okay, and now try the suits.
We'll start with clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. Try that again. Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds.
What do you think?
Diamonds.
So you're saying it's a 4 diamonds?
4 diamonds is what I
Okay.
did.
And there it is. Now, we didn't set that up at all, but it feels great, doesn't it, when you read
Yes,
it?
it does.
Yeah. Now, we didn't set it up at all. That's the first time Jeff's did it. It's the first take. And Jeff doesn't know how this works yet, other than I do it myself. I make my own pulse jump. Now, you can see it clearly from the short camera, but I basically place my thumb here and push up towards like this, and this will cause a muscle reaction here that feels like my pulse is jumping. So he feels that, but doesn't realize that I'm causing it. And he actually reads my mind instead of me reading his. Let's take things one step further. Instead of forcing a card, we're now going to use a key card. Let's imagine we've performed the first effect where I've read your pulse, and the selection that you made is on top of the deck. I'm going to use that as a key card. So choose any card that you like. Drop it on top. Now it's directly above the first selection that you made, which I know by now. If I shuffle and now ribbon spread the cards across the table, it's very easy for me to tell which card it is. There's the key card, the ace of spades. The card on top of it is the king of spades. So if you give me your hand, make a pointing finger, that's it, perfect. I'm now going to move your hand over here like this. Oh, it's definitely around about the middle here somewhere. And there it is. The king of spades. It's exactly the same effect, it's exactly the same method. I know the card when I spread, and I simply act as I move like this. These are very powerful effects, and it's a great sequence. I hope you try it. The slide you're about to learn can be one of the most powerful in card magic. It allows you to change a card without apparently going near the deck. In actual fact, you do, as you'll learn in the top and bottom changes. The top change is another one of those moves that's very difficult to learn because it's not invisible. This particular move requires excellent misdirection and an understanding of the moment. This is the move. A card is shown and at the right moment changed for the next card. So again, card is shown and changed for the next card. Now if you're watching this, you'll see that quite clearly, me changing one card to another. However, let me assure you, as a professional magician, this is one of the strongest changes you can do. So how do we get away with that? It's very simple. This is the action. The hand comes down like this. I'm holding the card with the thumb above and the fingers below. The left thumb is going to push the top card of the deck over slightly, like that. This card is going to be slid underneath the left thumb on top of that card. The right thumb will push a little too far, however, while this card is held in place by the left fingertips, like so. Pushes a little further, like that. This stays in place. The right fingers are now gripping this card. They're gripping it further down the thumb than the previous card, but it's gripped like this and removed. So from here, I push and take it like that. So I'm holding the thumb tip here, the fingertips underneath. This card is pushed off. It's maintained by the left fingers. As I come down, push a little further to square that card with the deck and extract the second card. So it's very smooth, like this. Now, what about the moment? When we'll show a card, people will look at the card. When we stop showing the card, they'll look at us. Is that your card? No. At the moment they stop looking at the card, you make the change quietly. Trust me, if they're looking at you, they will never see that, and they will never even suspect it. So from here, look, change the card, like this. There are other forms of misdirection you can provide to this, like going from here to here, like this. So again, from here to here, like this. You can also move the hands together just for a second in a gesture and change like this. That's the top change. Here's a very small tip on the top change. Remember, as you come over, your thumb's going to push a little bit further in this direction while this thumb pushes this card over, like so. If you were to take a card out like this, make that action, and then table the deck face up, this is a natural cover for bringing the hands together. So this card comes out this way. I make the change as I put the cards down like this. I use this often. Try it. You'll find it's quite reliable. Okay. I'm going to have you choose a card. Choose a
Okay.
card from anywhere that you like. Make sure everybody sees it. Okay. It's very important that Justin sees it as well. I'll look away.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. You saw that card, Justin?
Yes, I did.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, just put it back in here. Okay. So you saw the card. Now I'm shuffling the card, so you don't know exactly where it is. But because you know the card that Aaron took, you're tuned into it. So if I ask you to choose any card, keep thinking about Aaron's card. Don't tell me what it is, but keep concentrating. Okay. And you're going to pick exactly the same card. Okay. All right. Make sure that you're really concentrating. Ready?
Him for this one?
Okay, just take it out a little bit, not all the way, not all the way. Is that the one you want to go for?
Yes.
That's the one you want to go for, this one here. Now remember, I never saw her card, but you did. And you're the most important person of all. And in actual fact, how did you do?
Not it.
Terribly.
What was the card?
Jack of Hearts.
Did you think about the Jack of Hearts? Well,
Very hard. Intensely.
think harder. Blow on this card. You've done that before. You found the Jack of Hearts. Like that.
Very good.
There you go. The changing card is an excellent use of the top change. It creates the perfect moment to make the change, and is something I use regularly in my professional shows. Have any card selected from a borrowed shuffle deck. In this case, it'll be the blue-backed Ace of Spades. It's very important that this is shown to everyone else in the audience apart from yourself. Have it returned and control the card to the top by any means you like. You can use the pass, the Hindu shuffle control, the overhand shuffle, anything that you've learned so far. So the card is on top of the deck, and everybody knows what the card is. Now I have the card selected to my left, so I can turn to someone from my right to choose the card. The next card is chosen, and I tell them that when they take the card, it'll be the same as the first card selected. So when they take it out, I ask them to concentrate. They remove the card, and I say, that'll be the card that he just picked. I take it out, and I show it to everyone, all around like this. By this time, someone should be telling me that it's not the card. As I look over to here, and I come around, the hands come together for just a second, and I make the change. This isn't the card. At this point, they'll say, no, that's not the card. And this card has already changed. The effect is over. All you have to do is look at it yourself, say, are you sure? What was the card? The Ace of Spades. Seems to be this one. And that's the end of the trick. Now, a few important points. This card is selected. Take the card slowly, and now show it like that. So you've moved over to this side. As I move back to here, someone will by now be telling me to return, and it's at this point that I turn my head to here, bring the hands in as if relaxing a little bit. Notice how the hands are outstretched. Relaxing a little bit, make the change, and then stop. So the change is made as I apparently notice they want to tell me something. If you pick the moment just right, there's no way anyone will see that change. All attention will be between yourself and the spectator who picked the original card. And that's the changing card. The bottom change is a variation of the top change where the card switched out goes to the bottom of the deck instead of the top. Let's imagine a selection was on top of the deck and we had another card as for the changing card. Instead of making the change this way, this card is fed to the bottom of the deck like so, and the top card is taken. Now, once again, to make the change, when I turn the card over, this finger clips the card here. So the first finger moves to the top beside the thumb, like this. So the card is gripped between the thumb and second finger. The first finger moves beside the thumb, so I can now clip the card this way if I wanted to. So from here, I have it clipped. I now release it as I bring it to the bottom of the deck by gripping the deck between the first finger and thumb. And I extend my fingers just enough to allow the card to move to the bottom, like so. So now that's on the bottom of the deck, I take the top card like this. You can also feed the top card off just before you do that, make it slightly easier, like this. The advantage of doing this change this way is that you can continually change cards. If you had a bank of cards on top of the deck, so it could change once, make the change again, and it can change again. You can repeat the change over and over again, if you like. That's the bottom change. Incredible effects can be achieved by secretly arranging the cards before performance. Here, I'm going to teach 3 of the effects from this chapter. There are several others to learn, but the 3 I've chosen are my favorites. And for the red and black trick, I'm going to show you a way of fooling people who already know the original principle. These are the arrangements. All right, let me show you how some people cheat at cards. This particular thing is something called the second deal. And for the second deal, what happens is, let's show you. I've actually put 3 jacks on top of the deck, like that. I'm going to deal the cards to you, Terry. Okay. And I'm going to try and deal you all 3 jacks. But look, if I just deal them 1 to you, then 1 to me, then 1 to you, you won't get all 3 jacks.
No.
Unless I don't deal the top card at the right moment. Okay? You'll see what I mean. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, look. All 3 jacks. I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
Amazing.
Amazing. One more time. Look. With one hand. Like that. Yep. And again, I give you all 3 jacks. Okay. Again, this time I'll just leave the deck on the table, like this. Okay. It's more difficult like this. Did you see it? And again, you get all the jacks. Now, well, it's just a simple move. Have you played poker before?
No,
I'm going to play poker with you, but this time I'll deal with one hand.
not for money, I hope.
Don't bet on it. Now, so far I've been giving the jacks to Terry, okay? This time I'm going to give you 5 cards instead of
Okay.
just 3. So that's a poker hand you have there. How many jacks do you have?
Do I look at them?
Yep. If you can tell me without looking at them, we'll all be very impressed.
None.
What do you have? Ah, well, you know what that means, don't you?
I lose.
Well, it means that I have, well, I got the 5 of hearts, isn't very impressive, but I actually gave myself the 4 aces instead. So, fancy a game?
Not today.
Jack's Wild is a gambling routine with a surprise climax. Begin by secretly removing the 4 jacks and the 4 aces. To set up, take the aces and insert a card between each one, like this, and one on the top, like this. So you have an odd card, ace, odd card, ace, odd card, ace, odd card, ace. Take 4 more cards, place these on the bottom, like this, and this entire stack goes on the bottom of the deck, facing like this. Now, take one of the jacks and place it underneath the top card of the deck, and place the other 3 jacks on top, and you're ready to begin. Now, the way I like to begin is of the 3 jacks, take 2 of the same color and place the odd colored one between those 2. Place them on top and you're ready. Now, take the deck out of its box and say, have you ever heard of something called false dealing? False dealing is used to control cards from one player to another. For instance, on top of the deck here, I happen to have 3 jacks. Now, if I were to deal these cards, 1 to you and 1 to me, in order to give you all 3 jacks, I couldn't deal them all from the top of the deck. I'd deal 1 to you, 1 would come to me, 1 would come to you, but then I would get the other jack. So, how to make it work? I'm going to deal the cards one at a time. I want you to watch for the special deal. Instead of dealing the top card, I'm going to deal a card from somewhere else in the deck. Now, what's really going to happen is you're going to simply deal cards from the top. But because of that extra jack underneath this card, everything's going to work out. Watch. They get a jack, I get a jack, they get a jack, I get that odd card, and they get this jack. I get another odd card. I show this and slide it under these 2, so that card is in the middle, and put it on top. So it's now back like this. And I show that they have 3 jacks. And what I do is I make sure the black jack, which is always on top, is moved into the middle again. Place it on top. Now I'll do it again. But this time, I'll do it with 1 hand. So first time we do it with 2 hands, the second time I do it with 1 hand. See if you can spot the special deal. Like this. Each time I put the deck down, I show this card, slide it underneath, and place these on top. And again, I show they have the 3 jacks. like this. Now watch. They go back on top. I'll do it again, but this time I'll keep the deck on the table and deal the cards, like this. Again, you deal the cards fairly. This time you just pick these up and drop them on top. You don't have to move a card. And again, show that they have the jacks and drop them on top. Apparently the whole thing's over. Say, would you like to see how I would do this in a real poker game? And as I pick up the deck, I pick it up from above like this. So as soon as I meet their eyes, I pick up the deck and turn everything over. Would you like to see how I do this in a real poker game? The whole deck is now being reversed. Now I deal a game with one hand. This time, I'm getting the aces. Say in a poker game we need at least 5 cards, like that. The deck goes down. Remember, you don't want to spread too many cards or they'll see this. And you say, did you get the 4 jacks? They look, and they see they get no jacks at all. Well, you know what that means, don't you? Of course, they'll say, I have the jacks. In actual fact, I don't have the jacks, but I do have the 4 aces. And that's jacks wild. Let's see if you can do a form of mind reading. Actually, this takes a little bit of luck, so I hope you're feeling lucky today as well.
Okay.
Punk.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Take a card from anywhere that you like. Okay. That's good. Look at it. Don't let me see it. Okay. Drop it on top of the deck. Cut and complete the cut. Okay. And cut at random. That's good. Okay. Now cut some cards and square the deck up first of all. So that, 3. Cut some cards and lay them in my hand. Okay. Cut a little. Okay. That's good. Again. And cut again. Cut deeper this time. Cut into my hand. Okay. That's good. Okay. That's good. Now, do you want to cut again or are you happy?
One more time for good measure.
One more time? Okay. Cut into my hand. Good. Again. Do it one more time just for me because
Okay.
I feel I'm a little less than last time. A little less.
A little less.
Yeah. That's fine. That's good. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's see. I think your card is, let's make a random guess. Let's say your card was exactly in the middle, 26 from the top. That would be mildly impressive. Yeah?
Mildly.
Okay. Okay, so it would be mildly impressive, but not terribly impressive.
I think you can do better.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to start counting backwards from 26. In my mind, I'll just keep counting backwards. And you tell me when to stop. Okay? So I'll
Okay.
just keep counting backwards. You tell me when to stop.
Stop.
8.
Okay.
Okay? Pick up the deck. Deal down to the 8th card. What was your card?
Ace of spades.
The Ace of Spades. Like that. Well done. Very good. Okay, we're going to have a card selected here, and I'd like you to do the picking. So you can actually think of a card. I'll mix the cards up, but let's see. Maybe if I would say that's about halfway there. Okay. Roughly equal. Roughly equal.
Okay.
Now you can pick any half you like. It's entirely up to you. Do you want to have this half or this half?
This
Okay.
half.
Shuffle. Very good. Okay. And look through and think of any card. Don't let me see it, whatever you do. Okay. You can show it to everyone else. I'll look away. Okay. And then take the card and put it in the middle of this pile. Okay. And shuffle these cards as well. Did you put the card in there?
Yeah.
Shuffle up. Drop on top of here. And if you want to cut a few times, it's up to you as well. So you could have thought of any card. Yes? Now, let's see. Remember your card?
I think so. We'll see.
Yeah, we will, we will. Okay. I won't even guess. I'll just go for it. Have you told anybody, well, these guys know, but have you told me the name of your card?
No.
What was it?
Jack of Hearts.
Sorry.
Not the Ace of Spades.
Yeah. Jack of Hearts. Right there. Like that.
Very good.
The reds and the blacks is a simple and old way of finding a selected card in amongst the shuffled deck. Now, we have a deck of cards, and what we've done is separated the reds from the blacks, so the reds are all on the bottom and the blacks are all on the top. These can now be shuffled using the Ireland Fall Shuffle. This is a variation of the overhand shuffle. The deck is generally shuffled, but it's shuffled in such a way that the reds and the blacks are not mixed. Now you'll notice that the black cards all have blue backs, and the red cards all have red backs. That's so you can follow the cards as I demonstrate. I'm going to shuffle. Like this. Now, the packets have simply transposed. The reds are on top, the blacks are underneath. And again, I shuffle off packets until I reach the middle of the deck. As soon as I think I'm near the middle, I begin running the cards one at a time until I clear the middle, and I can then take packets once again, like so, fairly mixing each packet one after the other. So once again, I shuffle till I'm near the middle, take cards one at a time until I clear the middle, and once I'm sure that I've cleared, I shuffle in blocks again. And as you can see, the blacks are now on the bottom and the reds are on top. I now need to cut the deck into two halves. This is easy because all I have to do is riffle and wait till I see the colors change from black to red. That's the middle of the pack. So these are all red and these are all black. Now I'm going to turn my back and ask someone to remove a card from anywhere in this half and place it anywhere in this half. How they do that is up to them. They can take it from here or they can take it from here. It's up to them. So they can place one of these cards over here or one of these cards over here. I turn my back as they do that. They look at the card, they insert it into the other half, and now they shuffle that half. So I can't know where the card is. Again, my back would still be turned. And now they shuffle the other half and place that on top. Now at the moment I don't know whether they chose a black card or a red card. How do I find the card? Well, they can cut as many times as you like. All I need to do is look through the cards and find the only card that's out of place. And if you look through, you'll see that all the reds are here and all the blacks are here, but right in the middle of the blacks is one red card. And that must be their selection. So, it's a very simple trick, very easy to do, and very convincing. Unfortunately, a lot of people are quite familiar with the idea of taking the reds and blacks apart. I've actually had people in bars show this trick to me. So how do we get around that? Well, we do this. This variation of the reds and the blacks is far more difficult to detect because the division is far less obvious. Here the deck looks perfectly shuffled. In fact, I can mix it up as before, like so. You can see the cards are being pretty well mixed, reds and blacks together. And as I shuffle, I can even continue to show you the mix. But they are also divided. If people know the red and black trick, this will fool them. As you can see, we also have blue backs and red backs. In this case, however, the blue backs are made up of all the odd valued cards. 7s, 5s, 3s, aces, which mean 1, kings, which are 13, and jacks, that are 11. The even valued cards, 2s, 4s, 8s, 10s, and queens, are all red backed. So the cards are now divided into odds and evens, one on top of the other. As before, we can use the Ireland Fall Shuffle. It simply transposes the packets. This time, I riffle. I wait till I see, in this case, these are even cards. I see an odd card. I know that's the division. And I place the cards down. And I ask someone to pick up any half, and they can shuffle that half. They can then look through and think of any card, which they remove and place in the middle of the other half, like so. They can then shuffle these cards as well. These are then dropped on top of the other cards, and everything is cut as many times as they like. Now I can even spread the cards face up to find their card. I could find their card with the pulse trick simply by looking for the odd card out. Now look, let's have a look here. This is a little more difficult to detect. With the red and black trick, you can instantly see where the card is. Here, you have to look over the cards carefully. So in this case, I'm looking over here and I see odd, 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 all the way up to here, still odd. Now we've arrived at the even cards. And we keep going over the even cards. You see these are all even, like so. Continuing down. That's an odd valued card. And it's right in the middle of the even valued cards. And you see the odd cards have continued here. So this is a selection. Now we could use the pulse trick to find that. Another way to find it is while you're looking through the deck, find the card and casually cut it to the back. Look at them and look through again. This time find the card that contrasts with the selected card. Now this is a red face card, a court card, the Jack of Hearts. So I've removed the black ace. And I'm going to turn the cards round. I'm going to turn them around so they can clearly see the card as I turn. And lower my hands like this. So they are convinced that I have now picked the wrong card. I take the card out this way, and I say, okay, I think I've got it. When they're convinced that I've failed, there'll be a relaxation. Under that cover, I'm going to top change the card before laying it on the table. So this is the ace of clubs, and the jack is now here. All I have to do is build the ending, ask them what the card is, look confused as if I got it wrong, maybe pick up the deck and look through before saying, the Jack of Hearts? That's good, because it's right here. Okay, AT. I'm going to have you choose a card, but to make things really easy for me, you don't actually get to look at it. See how that works? Okay, say stop anywhere that you like as I dribble the cards. There? Right there?
Yes.
Okay, now do you want this card or do you want the card underneath?
The one on the bottom.
This one here?
Yes.
Okay. Now you don't actually get to look at that card, but I'm going to tell you what the card is by looking at some other cards at random. For instance, if I was to look at this card here, this is the King of Clubs. This tells me for sure that you did not pick the King of Clubs. It's a long trick, trust me. Maybe we can shorten it just a little bit. We'll give it a few cuts like this. Now the first one was a king. Let's see what this one is. This is another king. In actual fact, this is the King of Spades. So a pattern has started to form. Let's try again. Just shuffle the deck a little bit. Like that. Yeah, I think that was it. I don't need to do any more than that. We get the King of Hearts. You know what that tells me? It tells me the card you selected must be the King. Of aces. You're not much help to you, I have to tell you. Tell you what. And that's a little bit better, I think. The trick you're about to learn is one of the finest card tricks ever constructed. The reason that I perform this trick is because I used to perform in a restaurant called Fat Sam's in Edinburgh, which is closed now. I didn't close it, I promise. And one afternoon, I was working there when a guy, maybe 80 years old, told me about the best card trick he ever saw. He saw it in the 1940s, and he was able to describe it perfectly. It was this trick. This trick is credited to Di Vernon. It's actually based on an Arthur Findlay trick, and we have permission from the Di Vernon estate to share this with you today. So I'd like to say thank you to Di Vernon's family and to David Benn. To set up for this trick, remove the 4 aces and the 4 kings. pick up the aces, deal down 2, take a king, place that on top, deal another ace face up, another king, an ace, and the last 2 kings. So, from the top, you have an ace, a king, ace, king, ace, king, king, like so. These begin on top of the deck. You shuffle the cards, keep those in place, and begin. And we're going to start by having a card selected. To do that, pick up the deck and get a break underneath the top card. Lift off the upper half and place the lower half on top like this, maintaining the break at all times, like so. So I now have a break below what was previously the top ace. Perform a riffle force to that position, like so. They say stop. I lift off everything above the rearmost break. Now you give them a choice, the top card or the card underneath, and I indicate the card at the bottom of this packet. Whichever card they choose, I tell them that they cannot look at their card. That's very important. If they take this card, you simply place these on top and hold a break, and you're ready to begin. If, however, they take the lowermost card, give them this card, and as you put the packets together, get a break underneath the top card of the left-hand half. Now I have a break here. I say, I'm going to tell you what that card is by looking at some other cards at random. And I spread to my break, like so. And I flip over the next card. Now that's the ace there, that's a king. As I flip over the king, notice how I leave a little bit extra ace protruding from this side. That's because underneath I'm holding it only by the tips of my fingers, like so. So it's very easy to let go of that ace. So as I spread, I push that one over and I hold it only by the very tips, like so. Now I use this edge to flip over the next card. That's a king. And I say, this tells me that you did not pick the king of spades. And as I look up, I flip this card over. As it falls over, I come down and I leave the ace behind and deal it to the table. So at speed, I flip it over like that. This is a very, very strong switch, like so. So now there's an ace here instead of a king. Now as I put these together, I thumb off 3 cards. As I say, it's a long trick. I get a break underneath. These are the 3 cards I pushed over. And I double undercut to the top. So I hold a break here with my thumb. I cut half of the lower cards to the top and the remainder. This brings an ace and a king to the top. And I perform a double lift to show another king. I deal the top card to the table. That's an ace. And now there's several ways you can go. One way is to apparently cut the deck. Cut, hold a break, like so, and then complete by double undercutting. So you undercut half of the lower portion and then the rest of the lower portion and turn the deck over, like so. If you're using a table, you can riffle shuffle so long as you keep the bottom 2 cards in place. Riffle shuffle, and then cut apparently to this card using a false cut, like so, that you've already learned. Once you've done that, show the bottom card. And as you turn it over, you're going to do a glide with your thumb. You pull down here like this. And then you take this card as the deck is turned towards you and place it down. It's exactly the same as the glide, but it's a little bit more natural, like so. And square this card against the table as you table the deck. If you like, you can show this card and just do a glide. Now, say these 3 cards tell me that your card must be the king of aces. This is a very strong moment. The reaction will build the longer you wait before snapping your fingers and showing everything turned out okay in the end. That's divernance, matching the cards. The effects performed least by readers of the Royal Road to Card Magic are from the next chapter, platform tricks. These are designed primarily for stage performance, but I've selected 2 that you can use in more intimate surroundings. These are the 3 cards across and my handling for the Ladies Looking Glass. Okay, this one's a little bit challenging. You need to count some cards, but it's up to you how many you count. So cut the deck into 3 piles. 1, 2, and 3. And pick any pile that you like. It's up to you. That one? Good. Excellent. Now what I need you to do is to count the cards, and I want you to count them like this. 1, 2, dropping each one from a couple of inches so that none of the cards stick together, and so everyone can see how many cards you have. Okay, that's very important. So just count the cards right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
So how many do you have?
14?
14. Put them beside you.
Okay.
I need you to think of a number. So say stop anywhere you like.
Stop.
Okay, whatever number that is, it's a 3. That's good. We're going to take 3 cards. I'm going to make these 3 cards travel from here to there. Put your hand on top. Okay. Now watch. Ready? That's 1.
Okay.
That's 2. That's a little one. That's 3. So let's see. I think the 3 cards are gone. It feels a little bit light. How many cards do you have?
14.
How many cards did I apparently pass to your hand?
3.
3. Pick up the cards. Count them the same way, one at a time. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8,
8,
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
15.
16, 17. And that's...
That's amazing.
I'm glad you're happy. The card trick you're about to learn is one of the finest in the art. In fact, it's one of the strongest tricks I ever performed for lay audiences. There are many ways to perform this effect, and the one you're about to learn is the one used by David Devant himself. It's called the cards across, and the plot is very simple. No cards are selected, but cards travel mysteriously from one packet to another. The best part about this is the packet they travel to has been under the control of a spectator the entire time, and they never remember you touching their packet. So, you ready?
Ready.
Good. The deck is shuffled, but before I begin, I take 2 3s and place them on top, and 2 3s and place them on the bottom. In actual fact, you can simply place 1 3 on the top and 1 on the bottom. But we'll follow the royal road for now. Cut the deck into 3 piles, Jeff. Okay, that's good. Now we have 3 roughly equal piles. All I know is that there are 2 3s here and 2 3s in the bottom of this packet. Doesn't matter which packet he chooses, I know I'll be left with at least 1 or 2 3s to work with. You'll see why I use them soon. Pick any one of these packets. That one, good choice. Take it and shuffle it. Now he can mix those up as much as he wants. My 3s are now in the bottom of this packet. If he were to take the bottom packet, which has the bottom 2 3s, I would make sure that the 2 3s remaining were shuffled to the bottom of the deck before I commence the trick. Okay? I need my 3s on the bottom. Now, you've shuffled these. What I need you to do is I want you to count them. But to make sure it's perfectly fair, count them like this, dropping them one at a time on the table. Now, the reason I tell him to do this is, first of all, I demonstrate to separate off 3 cards. These are the 3 cards that are going to travel later in the trick. The reason I tell him to drop them onto the table is so they create a messed up pile, which will make the add-on of my 3 cards fly right by. You'll see why. Now, as I pick these up and put them back to allow you to count, they go on top of the deck, and I get a pinky break below them, like this. And I'm ready for the palm. I'm going to palm those 3 cards in just a moment. Now, you're going to begin counting. Okay? Count the cards, and stop at 10 so I can show what happens next.
Very good. 1,
Drop them like that.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now, as he's counting, I'm going to palm these cards. All attention is on Jeff at this moment and on the cards that he's counting. So as I come over, I'm going to push those cards up into my palm like this and hold the deck. Continue.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Now what happens next is very important. It must happen naturally. How many cards do you have?
19 cards.
19 cards. So Jeff has 19 cards, and as I refer to someone else, I'm going to push these cards towards Jeff in a very offhand action. I'm going to place this into my left hand, and with the right hand, push those towards Jeff, adding the 3 palmed cards in the process. So from here, I simply release the cards as I push the packet over. Okay, and that happens in just a second. Let me take those 3 cards back again. I'm going to push them back. And again, the messed up condition helps to conceal this. So, take those cards. Now, Jeff has 19 cards, but we now know that he is actually holding 22 cards because we've secretly added 3. Now we have to force the number 3. That's why we make sure we have some 3s on the bottom of the deck. So, I begin shuffling. This is the Hindu shuffle. And I invite someone to call stop anywhere they like. I say stop here, good. This is the card. Now it's not the card, but the number that's important. And I drop this on top. Now I've just shown the number 3, and I say, okay, I'm going to make 3 cards travel to Jeff's hand. Now Jeff would be holding his cards tightly. Now you have how many?
I have 19 cards.
19 cards. I'm going to take 3. Now I never show these, but I say I'm going to make them travel like this. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And I use the one-handed riffle. So I riffle normally, twice, and then I put the finger underneath and I do the one-handed riffle from the flourish section as I snap my fingers. And the 3 cards of travel, look. Now I never showed the cards in the first place, but I always do this to show that the 3 cards are now missing, like this. And I say, no, I've never touched those cards. That's a lie. You may not choose to lie in your performance, but it's very strong, and they'll always agree with you if you do this properly. So I apparently have never touched your cards. Count the cards into a pile.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
And that's the 3 cards across. All right, here we all get to select a card. Excited?
Yes.
Take a card.
Okay.
Take a card. And another. Terry?
Thank you.
Oh, you're going for the top card. And another. Okay, everyone look at your card. Show them to the camera. Very good. Now, I'm going to have you replace them in the middle of the deck. So, place yours here, yours on top, and again, again, again. Now, if I were to just leave those in the middle of the deck like that by putting these on top, that would be fair, right?
No bad.
No, not too fair. I'll tell you what, look, if I take your cards and put them into 5 different positions in the deck, would that be fair? Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I might have counted the positions between each card, so I might know exactly where the cards are from the bottom. I'm not really that good, but just in case, I'll shuffle the deck as well. So, we know your cards are lost somewhere in the deck. And Justin, I'm going to start with you. Okay? Is this your card?
No.
No. Which card?
King of clubs.
Like that. That's the first one. You get to keep that.
Okay.
Terry, I need you to think of your card. Concentrate on it. Okay, let's see. I'll cut about there. Is that your card?
Nope.
Is that your card?
Nope.
I was kind of hoping it would be, to be honest. Maybe, how about the 7 of Hearts? Was that your card?
No, it's not.
I'll be honest, right now, I have absolutely no idea what your card was. So keep thinking of it. But repeat the name in your mind. Keep saying the name of the card over and over. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm just going to concentrate on your card as you do that, okay? Keep saying it over and over. 4 of spades, 4 of spades, 4 of
Amazing.
spades.
That's right.
That's it,
Yes.
right? And if I snap my fingers, believe it or not, your card makes itself visible in the middle of the deck. And you get to keep that one as well. Okay. You're next.
All right, let's see what you can do.
Okay then. Okay. All right, what was the name of your card?
So I'm going to tell you.
Yep.
Queen of Spades.
That would be that one. Right there. Okay. Let's shuffle. 2 cards left to go.
I'm on the
Do
edge
you
of
want me
my
to do this the
seat.
easy way or the hard way?
The hard way.
Okay, do you want me to, okay, do you want me to find them together or at the same time?
How about the same time?
That's a good idea.
Okay.
That's a good idea. All I'm going to do, catch 2 cards. What was your card?
Queen of clubs.
Your card?
And the Eight of Hearts.
And the 8 of hearts. Like that.
Yay.
And nobody injured.
Nobody injured at all. Here is my version of the Lady's Looking Glass. It differs from the one in Royal Road because I found most people weren't able to remember 2 cards. Also, by keeping the number of selections down to 5, it was very tight and very easy for people to watch. Here I've removed the ace, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of spades. These will represent the selections. And we're going to control these using a very interesting method. While the cards are being looked at, take the deck and shuffle. Now, of course, these could be any 5 cards. As I shuffle, I run 5 cards into my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I jog a card. And I shuffle off. As I take the deck into dealing position, I come over with the right hand to square, and I pull up on that jogged card, which creates a break above the 5 cards I ran at the beginning. So I now have 5 cards beneath the break. Here, I'm going to cut half of the cards into the left hand. So once I've squared and I have my break, I lift off at the front with my forefinger, like so. I cant over. I take these cards in the left hand, and I have each one of these cards replaced. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5, like so. Now I say, would it be fair if I were to drop these cards on top, losing your cards in the middle? What I've really done, of course, is add my 5 cards on top of their 5 cards. So again, I have my break here. As I come over, I place these on top, but I lift up at the break, leaving these 5 behind. Like so. So if I place these on top, would that be fair? Now this appears to be just an illustration, but of course I really do place on top, and I come away having added 5 cards. They'll say yes, maybe, or no. Whatever I say, okay, you're right. Perhaps I should place them in 5 different positions. So 1 goes here. Now these are odd cards. These are the cards I added to the top of their selections, so I can't show them. So I place these in here like this, and I say, now is that fair? Usually they agree, but I say, no, it wouldn't be fair because I might have remembered the distance between each card. I'll be honest, I'm not that good. At this point, I now fall shuffle and retain the top 5 cards. Like so. So the cards are on top of the deck. The first card I'm going to produce was the 5th card selected. I lift up a break underneath that card, and I lift up half of the deck and cut to the bottom. This is called the double undercut because I'm going to cut, like so, maintaining that break at all times. So there's the break, it's now underneath number 5. I cut half of the cards underneath and bring it to the top, and everything else underneath the break and bring that to the top. So what I've done is secretly transfer the top card to the bottom. That's the double undercut. Now I take the cards this way and turn them over, ready for the color change that I taught in the color change section. This comes to here, the hand comes over to meet it. The left thumb comes here, and as I come over, I palm this card as the deck comes into view. So this card is now palmed. At this point, I show the card. Is that your card? No. What was your card? As I cover that up, he names his card. I lift up my hand, and it's appeared. Turn the deck over, extract this card. You don't want them to see the card they just saw change. Extract this card and lay it down. Now, for the second card, I shuffle. And as I shuffle, I run one card in jog and shuffle off. So I've added one card to the top of the stack. Now I say, is this your card? As I do that, I get a break underneath the second card, like so. So I push, get a break, flip over. Is that your card? No. I lift these up and flip over the deck. Is that your card? No. I kind of hoped it would be. How about this one? And I cut around about the middle and complete the cut. Of course, that won't be their card either. Now I turn the deck down and I say, just concentrate on your card. This is a classic and powerful revelation. Say the name of your card in your mind. Repeat it over and over. At this point, I'll be honest, I have no idea what your card is, and that's the truth. Now, I am telling the truth now because I don't know what their card is. But as soon as they begin thinking about it, I riffle the cards. And as I riffle the cards, I can see their card as it riffles past. In this case, I see the 4 of spades. Like that. I only have to riffle once. And now I say 4 of spades, 4 of spades, 4 of spades, which is what they're thinking in their mind. Trust me, this is very, very strong. Now I spread to show the 4 of spades has reversed itself in the deck. Now one card underneath that 4 are the remaining 3 cards to be produced. So, as I take this and hand it over, I come back and cut one card after the 4, bringing the 3 cards back to the top. Now for the next card, I palm it and ask what the card was. They tell me, 3 of spades, really? Well, that's strange because the card is palmed. I put that card in my pocket before the trick began. And I lay that card in front of them. Now we come to the final revelation. The last 2 cards are on top of the deck. You can shuffle and keep them on top, but when you're ready, double undercut the top one to the bottom. Lift up a break, cut, keep the break, and now cut under the break, and then cut to the break, which puts 1 on top and 1 on the bottom. And you're ready for the final revelation. This is interesting because you don't need to palm any cards in order to produce the cards in the air. Not only that, you produce 2 cards in one hand. So, to do this, let's practice first of all with the deck inside the box. Trust me, this will save you a lot of time in picking cards up. The deck goes in the box like so, and place 1 card on top of the box and 1 below. This is what you need to practice. Take the deck and throw it up, and hold on tight to the deck so that the deck, the box in between, will slide up like so, carried by the force of throwing up. So you only retain the top and bottom cards. As I go up like this, the deck will fly upwards. Now normally this would be a free deck. As soon as it comes up, come over with your hand and smack the deck as it starts to come back down again. Now the eye will naturally follow the deck going up the way. So you're secretly retaining 2 cards as the deck goes up, and you immediately hit the deck as it comes back down. Practice that with a box deck. You might want to use a sealed deck rather than one where the seal is broken, because even here, if you hit it hard enough, it'll fall apart. So, what does it look like? Here's my favorite part. Remember that the audience does not know this is about to happen. Also, be careful not to hit the cards directly towards someone too close. Remember, this is kind of a platform trick. You can perform it in a small area, but if someone's sitting right there, they may get hit by some cards. So here we go. Remember, we have a 2 on the bottom and an ace on the top. Those are the 2 cards. I'll leave them reversed for you. And 1, 2, 3. Like so. And that is the lady's looking glass.
So we reached the end of the Royal Road to Card Magic. There are many more destinations to which you can travel now, and there are many more paths than you can imagine. There are literally thousands of books on card magic in the literature. I'm going to recommend a way to start, and this is really how I learned card magic. The first serious learning I did was with the Royal Road, and I want you to consider this to be a book that you'll read forever. This is a reference point. There's material in here you should never stop using. The next book I would go to, if you want my recommendation, is Expert Card Technique, written by the same authors, Hugard and Browie. This was written before the Royal Road, but it contains material that expands directly from what you learned in this book and on this course. There are variations on techniques such as the palm and the pass. There are more difficult techniques such as the second deal, the bottom deal. But this book contains a wealth of material. Tricks by Charlie Miller, Di Vernon, Fawcett Ross. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. Where you go from there is entirely up to you. But my recommendation would be to study anything by Di Vernon, the professor. His teachings, I think, bring most card magicians further forward than anything else. And when you learn to appreciate the way that this gentleman thinks in books like this is the Di Vernon Book of Magic. It contains more than just card tricks, but tricks with coins and other objects. This is Mr. Vernon. I never ever had the pleasure of meeting him, but he is still to this date my favorite magician. His thinking is exemplary, as is the thinking of people like Alex Elmsley. If you're not familiar with card magic, Alex Elmsley's name will be new to you, but it's going to pop up a lot. That's because his magic is an example of the kind of thinking that creates beautiful methods and plots. I would also recommend anything by Roy Walton, a gentleman from whom I've learned more than anything else in magic. That's my personal recommendation. But if you go to your local magic store, if you look on the internet, if you look in the catalogs, you'll find there are literally more books than you could ever read. But if you take this course, the course that I took, and move forward with Di Vernon, Alex Elmsley, Roy Walton, Expert Card Technique, it's very hard to go wrong. At the very least, you'll know the difference between a good trick and a bad trick, and a good idea and a bad idea. I sincerely hope you found your trip down the Royal Road to be rewarding. I know that if you followed this with the book and the videos together, that you're a better card magician now than you were before you started. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching, and take care.